What's up, Thralls of Metal? We're here back once again. I am Rin.
I am Necrotic Nick.
And we're here with an album review. We're reviewing Tomahawk, Tonic Immobility.
So this is yet another one that came out on the 26th of March on Ipecac Records because, of course, it involves Mike Patton. It comes out on that label.
And it's throw up juice.
It is. It works very effectively. So this band formed in 1999 in various parts of the USA, but, you know, two of them at least from California. This is essentially a supergroup. It's a supergroup of kind of off the beaten path, strange 90s and 80s bands. We have, of course, Mike Patton from Faith No More and Mr. Bungle on vocals and various weird samples. Dwayne Dennison of the Jesus Lizard on guitars. We have John
Stamos.
Close. Not him.
Uncle Jesse.
But anyway, drummer from Helmet.
Yes.
And, of course, Trevor Dunn, also from Mr. Bungle on bass. Now, describing this band's sound is difficult. It's sort of a halfway point between Faith No More and Mr. Bungle. It's not as weird as Mr. Bungle, but it's definitely weirder than Faith No More, so it's medium weird.
Yeah, and not as schizophrenic as Phantomas.
And it's been a while since we've had one. This is their first one in 8 years. They have 5 other albums. They just kind of take long hiatuses. I believe there was quite a long one here recently. And, well, it seems as though Mike Patton is busy with all the projects, hopefully Faith No More too. And here we go with another interesting offering from Tomahawk. Opening track, Shh. That is the title with an exclamation point, so it's a hard shh, like shut up. Is right away just interesting in terms of like dynamics. It has this little kind of creepy plucked little
Asians?
I don't know.
Plinking?
But all of a sudden just blows up into a hard rock chorus and
big rock chorus.
It's really interesting. Like it kind of reminds me if maybe what would happen if Mike Patton in front of the Foo Fighters, but of course they let Patton do his weird Patton things. But
there's so many vocal techniques going on.
God.
On the whole thing.
On the whole thing.
But yeah, he does the baritone into the falsetto, into the screaming, into the almost rapping thing.
And deliveries too, like not just like the ranges, because he has
all of the range.
All of them. But in terms of like, you know, how he delivers it, sometimes it's like a spoken word, but it's almost kind of sung. Sometimes it's crooned. Sometimes he shrieks like he just stepped on a nail in a haunted house. It's Mike Patton, and you know, there's that sort of fun unpredictability about almost any project he's in, and it definitely is in this. One of the things that I definitely took away from this album is wild transitions.
Yeah.
The songs Tattooed Zero, Sidewinder, and Howlick in particular. Tattooed Zero. All right, it opens up as this dreary, dissonant, glum rocker. Mike sounds depressed. He's crooning.
Like a Western kind of vibe.
A little bit.
Like just rolled into town and you gotta find the saloon kind of.
It's sunset.
Yeah.
He's got dust and everything.
I need a drink.
And then, all of a sudden, it explodes into, like, full tilt boogie rock, like he is shrieking, he's furious, and then we go prog. Like it sounds prog. Like all of a sudden you get these crawling riffs that honestly it sounds like something Rush would do. Like
very Rush.
Very Alex Lifeson stuff on the guitars. And then we're kind of back to the gloom and doom before exploding once more. These are such hard transitions, like just, and we're going.
And he screams whiskey.
I get it. I mean...
Tattoo! Tattoo! Tattoo!
The bartender was not listening.
He wants a tattoo and whiskey.
Ooh, probably not in the same place.
Well, you just pour the whiskey on the tattoo when it's done.
Yeah, it's gonna get infected.
It makes the healing.
And then Sidewinder, which opens up like a gloomy Radiohead song. Like if you actually put Tom York on there, it would have been perfect.
It's a sad Patton.
Very sad Patton.
Reflecting.
But then all of a sudden... he kind of just goes nuts and kind of goes surfing. And there's a lot of surf rock notes on this. Like, you know, kind of Dead Kennedys surf rock. Not legit like Dick Dale, but more like Jello screaming with a bullhorn on a surfboard.
Holiday in Cambodia.
Yeah.
And the Holiday is a surf trip.
Yes. Now, it's interesting that shift to heavy, it doesn't carry on very long, but Mike goes absolutely feral for that second.
Yes, he does.
And then we're shifting to like beach music. Mike's on the beach telling
Sun's
you
coming up.
all sorts of stuff.
Got some
Advice.
puka shells.
He tells you to get your nuts out of your bank account. I don't know what that means, but I feel like it's something I should do because Mike said it.
And standing in line like a cow. I repeat, standing in line like a cow. I don't say that. He said that.
He said that.
I'm repeating what he said because he said it twice.
Life advice on a beach from Mike Patton.
Yeah.
And
it works.
It does. It's a strange album. And I mean, that's always been the intention. I haven't listened to any Tomahawk album and gone, well, that was very normal.
All right.
A straightforward rock and roll album, kind of alternative metal, whatever you want to call it. It's never that. It's like, dude, what? But it's a good what. Like, I want to go back and listen to it kind of what.
The song Doomsday Fatigue starts out with like a spy versus spy bass, jazzy, but creeping like dum 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 dum.
Twin Peaks.
Very Twin Peaks.
CD bar.
And then the guitar riff. Well, it's not really a riff. It's just like an arpeggiated chord. And I'm like, that sounds really familiar. I can't quite place it. It is almost exactly the verse of This Love by Pantera.
He's right.
It's really, really close.
I didn't hear it until you brought it up. Like, now I can unhear it.
If you ever listen to Jamie Josta's podcast, he has a segment on it called Yours Is, Ours Is, where he takes two different songs that sound very similar, and whoever may or may not have ripped off the original owes them a sandwich. Tomahawk may owe Pantera some sandwiches. Subway sandwiches, Jersey Mike sandwiches.
A nice little bundle, a nice little tray, man.
Somewhere from sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because it's close. But if you're going to steal something, steal a diamond.
It's a really strange song, and honestly, I didn't hear that at first. Like, and as soon as you brought it up, like, oh my God.
It's right there. If ever words were spoken.
And this one was one of the really interesting vocal performances, too. Like, he goes from that dark crooning to one of the prettiest moments on this album with his lush, just amazing vocals. I mean, the dude can do anything.
Do anything he wants.
And the delivery on it, and actually a good chunk of the delivery on the album, it's almost like slightly sung beat poetry.
Yeah.
Like stream of consciousness, because half the time I have no idea what he's talking about, but I know it's immensely quotable.
Yeah, and he means it. Whatever it could be.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. Like, occasionally they do get a little bit more straightforward. Like, you know, Fatback is definitely more of a straightforward rocker.
Evil surf jazz.
Yeah. And Valentine Shine is a ripper. Like, it just kind of just rocks in, and this was kind of that surf rock, but it's a little bit more aggressive.
If Helmet did a surf rock song.
They did their cover of Gigantor.
Yes.
It's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, this album is, of course, an odd listen, but one of my issues were songs that were too short. There are songs in here that feel as though they were kind of incomplete, or just they end too soon.
Yeah.
Fatback is a good song, and it kind of goes in this little weird rapped part at the end.
It's got a really cool rhythm to it, too.
And then it just ends. It's just done. And
like, okay.
I don't know. Like, I feel like there should have been more there. The same thing with Tattooed Zero with that cool proggy bridge. I felt like this was going to be like kind of a proggier song. Like, ooh, we're going to get really adventurous in this one.
Right there.
But it was just that one little moment, and then it kind of just bookends a little bit. And again, we're done.
Yeah, which I don't know if that makes it cool or not cool. It's definitely interesting, for sure.
I mean, it's a sign that I liked it because I wanted to hear more of it.
Damn, I would go with that. Oh, okay, we're on to something else.
But that was something that kind of drove me nuts. And then there's stuff that is just flat out weird. Predators and Scavengers. This one, it starts up, honestly, all right, it sounds like someone playing the wrong chords on Running Down the Dream.
It's really,
but they were trying.
Really close.
It's really close, but also really not close.
Yeah.
But when the vocals come in, I swear Mike was singing a totally different tune in his head than what they were playing.
Fuck you, I'm gonna sing wherever I want.
Mike, no, wrong song. Nope. Mike, can he hear us?
Turn everyone down. Turn everyone down.
He's finding his own little rhythm there, and it totally doesn't match up with the song. Like, it's weird.
It works somehow.
It does. Like, it comes into it like a really big, catchy chorus, but then it goes right back in the weird. It's like, no, wait, were we? Huh?
I'm back again doing whatever the hell I want to.
And I get, like, kind of the idea behind Tomahawk is still just doing sort of that strange, almost avant-garde thing. It's more accessible avant-garde.
Yes,
I would
that's
call it.
exactly what it would be. Like, yeah, and odd alt bands that they're from making another odd alt band, I guess.
I would never associate normal music with any member of the Jesus Lizard. And we have a Jesus Lizard guy in here, so this is going to be weird no matter what. But this is like an interesting album in the sense like it's really all over the map. I just feel like some of it is a little too condensed. Dog Eat Dog was the second single, which I thought was really good. Is essentially like 85% just the chorus, but the entire time I was listening to it, I was like, man, I feel like I stayed up too late. I'm watching Matt Pinfield on 120 Minutes, and he's telling me about his favorite deep cut, and it's this band.
Yeah.
And honestly, this would totally make sense for 120 minutes. This is like, it feels like a 90s gem, like they just kind of unearthed.
Right. And by reading the song title, I thought it was going to be a cover of Uncle Ted.
I'm sure they could do a wild cover of it.
That would, I'm for it. Patton, I would like to hear him do any Nugent.
Yeah.
Or anybody.
Sing me a McDonald's menu.
Yes.
Through the speaker.
Well, he did put out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song.
I did hear that. And it was awesome.
Yes.
I mean, all the childhood feels.
Yes.
You got me. But overall, I mean, this is another interesting album. I think it's kind of a continuation of Oddfellows. Like, it has a very similar feel to it. The production here is really good.
Oh, the drums are so crispy.
Dude, John's snare sounds like small arms fire, like in a gun range. Like it has...
It is so crisp.
The
Not
bass
overproduced, but just, and the bass.
Yeah.
He's using a pick, which, bass players and picks and things, but it's very precise and very rhythmic, and the tone is...
The rhythm section owns it on there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, and the guitar work is unique. Like, it's all over the place. Like, I think there's only, like, one solo, but you get, like, weird tremolos, like kind of surf rock tremolos, and then occasionally, like, big thrashy riffs that pop up.
Palm mutes and then dissonant jazz chords.
Yeah, the heavier moments kind of scream more punk, but occasionally get some, like, very Helmet-ish sort of metal. It's a really interesting listen once again from Tomahawk, and that's pretty much what I look for out of a Tomahawk release. Like, all right, it's gonna be off-kilter, but it's gonna be off-kilter with hooks. And I think they pretty much did it again for me. Yep. So overall, I'm gonna give this 4 stars. It's another solid album from them. And it's weird. Some of it doesn't necessarily work, but it kind of works in its own way. I mean, I'm a giant Mike fanboy, and yeah, I mean, he's rarely ever missed in my mind. But this is, again, another solid chapter. I've been listening to this band since their debut in 2001, which I can't believe this band is 20 years old.
Why?
I know. But I would strongly recommend getting this if you're looking for something a little off the beaten path, because that's where Mike lives. He has a house off that road. And yeah, check it out. It's good.
I'll go with a 4 as well. It's a solid Patton release. It's a great Tomahawk release. It's not as weird as, say, Anonymous, which was all Native American traditional songs.
That one's too weird.
Which, it's cool. Sure, go for it. Knock yourself out. I will buy an album with Mike Patton burping underneath the snare drum. And that's coming out in May. It's called Mike Patton burping underneath the snare drum.
Trio. They'll probably have Trevor Dunn.
Ipecac Records.
Yep.
Gotta have it.
Buzzo will make an appearance.
I think Buzzo is on it, actually. This is not metal. This is...
it's alternative metal. It's like kind of that weird subset.
Yeah. But there's hard moments, there's jazzy moments, there's reflective moments, there's almost rapping in an old school kind of way. It's Patton being Patton and solid production. Yeah, it's good stuff. Check it out. Check out all of Tomahawk. Check out all of Patton. You shan't be disappointed.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. Also, we're on Patreon now.
Woo.
We officially have a link for you down there to click, and if you would like to support us, we would totally appreciate that. We are going to be putting up podcasts in there, so we're going to pretty much get together and just chat about whatever the hell's on our minds. Mostly metal themed, but occasionally we're probably going to go off the beaten path. We'd really appreciate your support, so definitely at least go check it out. And with that, I thank you very much, and we will catch you later.